Let's do that again. What is up, fellow
Huh?
nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we're talking the boys' season finale, Assassin Run, or Assassination Run. We were muted the first time I started talking, that's why I redid it.
Oh,
If you're wondering, I saw the look on your face. But we are
That's just
talking
plain silly.
silliness. Oh, silliness with the audio. But before we get into all of that, Dave, Doug, how are you doing, gentlemen?
Well, Keith, I'm fan freaking tastic. I had a pretty good weekend. I did watch The Boys early this time, so I was hoping I can get home today and in time to watch it again before we talked. I don't know. Did you guys? I know you guys both watched it before we did our show on Thursday. Did you watch it again?
yeah.
I didn't get that chance. Well, I'm hoping my memory's good enough. It was an excellent show, excellent uh, season finale. Then on Saturday, I played a gig with my Scorpions band out in Jackson. We had a good time. It was a benefit for a cop who got killed, and for that to be a benefit for him, and there was a surprisingly low turnout. So I was a little, sad for the guy because they didn't, they were making donations for his funeral and all. And not too many people
hmm
showed up, but we had a good show. They were a good crowd. Some guy flew in from Germany to check us out, which I thought was like kind of weird because we're just a local band. But I guess he liked it. So then
Nice.
that leads us to today, and I'll tell you what happened today. I got ready for this. So, Doug, how are you doing?
Well, Dave, let me tell you, I am outstanding. I had a pretty chill weekend. I didn't really do that much. I mostly just kind of like, hung out yesterday, watching some TV, watching some YouTube videos, as one does, mowed the lawn. But other than that, I didn't really do much of anything. It's one of the first weekends in a while where I didn't accomplish anything and I'm okay with it. So I've been like go, go, go for just constantly, but my all throughout the week, my back has been killing me. I've felt so freaking old. And so I just needed a day to relax. I needed it.
Well, I'm glad you got it.
You always got to
Yes.
take some time for yourself, man.
Yeah, every now and again, you just got to. I have been looking forward to talking about this episode with you fine gentlemen, and I am even more looking forward to finally next week, Thursday. Keith, what is next week, Thursday?
It is July 25th. It also happens to be the release date for the much anticipated Deadpool and Wolverine. And after we talk about the boys, we can maybe talk a little bit about that
Okay.
because just because, like all the cameos they have now spoiled, like in trailers and commercials leading up to this. I don't know if you saw
hmm
this. If you don't want to hear it, spoilers for
You talking about
Deadpool.
Lady Deadpool?
No, Daphne Keene.
Oh, that, yeah, I saw.
And I was like, I really thought, one, yes, she was going to be in it, and two, they would save it for the movie. But they kind of showed it, and I was like, okay, are they just so confident in this movie, or is there a bunch of other things that we have
Yeah.
no idea is coming? And they were okay with doing some of these spoilers.
I'm hoping there's so much in there and that these are just a lot of little cameos that don't, that they're fun, but they don't add up to, like the major part of the story.
I hope
So
it's not like a Zack Snyder trailer.
show you all the
They show,
best parts in the trailer and
yeah, they
that's
show
it.
you everything in the trailer, and then you get to the movie, and it's like I've seen this.
Well, so far, everyone
You
who's
know,
seen like the first 40 minutes have said it's phenomenal. It's
Good.
now. I don't think the premiere has happened, or has the premiere happened yet? Because I haven't seen. If
Could
it
have
is,
happened by now, don't you think?
I don't think so. But usually I see pictures and stuff, and Twitter is
Hmm.
filled. Maybe I just missed it though. I have been busy, but I haven't seen any like early reviews for the whole movie. All I've seen is the people who have seen, the sneak peek thingy. We've just talked about it. So once again, hopefully everyone who's seen the whole movie by now is also, as enthralled. But it sounds like it's going to be a good time at the theater. And I think the MCU, and it is the biggest pre-sale movie of the year, which isn't saying a lot, but it's one of the biggest pre-sale movies that the MCU has had outside of some of the Avengers movies and stuff. So it's all good. But
no, you did not miss it. It is tomorrow.
Okay.
The red carpet premiere.
Oh, premiere.
Yep.
Good. I'm glad. I was like, because usually I have it a week out or so, so it's kind of weird that they're doing it 4 days before.
I'm kind of surprised it's this late. Usually they do it, a week or so before, just to give time for critics to write up, articles and everything. It is odd that they're waiting so late into it, but maybe they're worried about any more spoilers getting out. I'm not sure.
I'm sure they are. I wonder if they won't show the
These are the approved spoilers.
Right. I wonder if they're going to not show the post-credit scene.
Oh, that would be weird. I'm kind of personally, I'm so used to the teasing sort of Deadpool style end credit scenes. I'm hoping it's another one like that. Or it's he's pulling off doing Bueller or something.
Well, they already did that,
I know, but something like that is what I mean.
Did you guys expect footage from the next Avengers movie? You think it's filmed already? Do you guys not know how Hollywood works? Just go home. I'm sure they're working on it. Just go home.
Yeah. Come to think of it, this is an MCU movie, so they may have a tinge of something coming up. What's the next one? Brave New World.
A Brave New World. Oh.
In February, right?
Yep.
Captain America.
Oh, well, you know what? Maybe they're going to partner with Sony and we'll get some of the sweet, sweet Craven scenes that we've all been craving.
Ooh.
Did you forget
Craven
Venom: The Last Dance already? Are you putting Craven?
I forgot about that too.
It is weird because I forget about it constantly. And then I'll see something, I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot that movie was coming out.
Right.
It's October, right?
Yes.
Oh, wait, Venom is October? No
Yeah.
kidding. Wow.
Yep, that's
can't
October.
believe
And
it's
then
coming.
Craven, Dave's favorite movie. Dave's finally something to surpass Morbius is in December.
Now that's gonna be a big Saturday night when they come out on, when they both are out on video.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I tell you what. You go ahead and you get Craven on video. I'll bring over Madam Web. We're gonna do a three video play. We'll do all three of them.
Oh yeah.
If
I mean,
I'm
it's
late-
all gonna flow.
If I'm late, just go ahead and start it.
We're gonna do is we're gonna take all three of those movies and we're gonna splice them into one coherent movie. That's what we're gonna do.
But I will say, I would still rather watch those three movies than have to watch the director's cut of Rebel Moon, which we're getting a trailer for tomorrow. Who's excited for
Oh,
this
boy.
trailer?
I'm sure the trailer will be great.
There's gonna be blood,
It's a Zack Snyder
gore.
trailer.
Yeah. Wow, this trailer looks amazing. I may have to check out this.
Well,
Pile of shit.
the sad part about this is, this was the plan from the beginning. That this was all part of the marketing plan that Zach worked out with Netflix, and he was like, "Look, you saw the kind of numbers, you saw the kind of response that people got for the Snyder Cut. I need you to purposely cut out some things from the main movie, and then we're going to release, the director's cut. This is
And it's gonna
they
be
announced it before the movie even premiered on Netflix. Before even part one premiered, they announced there was going to be a director's cut. So
Yeah. Why not just come out with a director's cut then?
right? And there was such a terrible response to both of the movies. There was a few people that were talking about part one, but then nobody was talking about part two.
Yep.
I
I didn't hear.
don't think I know one person that watched part two. Even some of my friends who are kind of like Zack Snyder a little bit, like his movies, because they don't really.
I mean, I
like
could have
movies.
missed it, or my algorithm just hides that stuff for me, but I did not see any of the movie and TV show reviewers that I would normally see on YouTube, even discussing part two. So I cannot imagine that the director's cut is going to get a lot of play. And I assume this is going to be a combination of parts one and two.
No, this is
Plus,
just director's cut part one.
this is
There will
just the
be a
director's cut of part
director's
one.
cut part two also.
Oh Lord. Now, okay, so I thought his original intent was to make Rebel Moon into like a trilogy of movies. Is that not the case now?
I think he wants to make like 5 or 6 movies, he said.
Huh.
Yeah, I was looking for the trilogy here, and no, that's why it's not, like a Roman numeral two, is because that would signify a trilogy, I would think, in my
Yeah.
mind. It's just part two. Then you got part three, part four, part five. They can go on forever.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
whatever.
Well, why don't we actually talk about something good today?
Let's
Since
do
we've
it.
since we've had to dip our minds into the horrible dirt water that is Snyder's movies, and also be reminded that Sony movies are a thing.
Hey, he's got 2 good movies out of how many he's made.
I do like Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, I like Sucker Punch and 300.
Yeah, 300 is pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like Sucker Punch, but I did.
You know what? I have only ever seen Sucker Punch once when I saw it in theaters. I haven't seen it after that. It confused me. I admit that. It totally confused me. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was like, I don't like this movie.
Yeah, you got to pay attention, at least the first time through. Like the first time, oh, that's what they're doing. Then it'll make sense all the rest of the way through. But if you're like, wait a minute, what the is going on here? Then you'll be that way the whole movie.
Mhm.
So,
But are you guys ready to talk about The Boys?
Yes. Yes,
who?
please.
Assassination Run. Which, what a way to end a season. They really pulled out all the stops.
You're not going to immediately jump to the end, are you?
I am not.
yeah, I was gonna. I'm really holding back, trying not to right now. We'll
But
get there.
Keith, you are spot on. I mean, talking about a season finale, just way to knock it out of the park.
And they paced it correctly because at the beginning, when Butcher's in the hospital and he's
Hmm.
talking to Ryan, and I thought it's not, they're just gonna pace their way through this. They're gonna do it. It's not gonna have all action on one side of it. We're gonna pace our way
Hmm.
through, and then it's gonna be something. And when Ryan, spoiler alert, when Ryan killed what's her name,
Mallory.
Mallory, then he just walked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Then it was gonna get crazy for that.
I think that was the last straw for Butcher. That was like, okay, well, there's no saving him then.
I do think one of my
Yeah.
favorite scenes. See, I don't think it's the last straw for Ryan. I think that just made it tougher for them to bring him into the fold next season. This is not going to be a walk in the park. They're going to have to work to get him to understand because he still has that one advantage that Homelander never had. He was raised by his mom. So I think he's sort of acting out and he's torn right now. And obviously, killing Mallory is not a good sign. But I think he's still savable. And I think in the end, this whole show is about stopping Homelander and not creating another. So I think he's going to actually be the one that brings Butcher back from wherever he is at, now. And he's going to be the one who kind of reels him in a little bit. And he will be. Yeah, thank you, Dave. He'll bring him in. But yeah, you know what? This finale did what every finale should do: surprise you.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
during several turns.
the one of
Especially the
my
last 30 seconds.
one of my favorite scenes was when they were like, "Hey, why isn't Ashley on this list? They should be." And she's like, just takes off running and she injects herself with Compound V. And of course,
Right.
it was not a pretty transformation for her.
No.
And then that's all we saw. So obviously they're saving her story for season 5, or the rest of her story for season 5. And man, I just deep. Tell me I'm the smartest one, or whatever. Oh, you're definitely the smartest one, and tell
You're
me.
just saying that.
Yeah, but that's okay. Boom.
And of course, Homelander would have a list. I mean, come on. If he's going to be the ultimate authoritarian, he needs to have a list of, people that he's going to off. And yeah, gosh, the fact that the Deep and New Noir were like just so gung ho to just, follow along, be like, yeah, sure, all right.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
and then speaking of Ashley, what what about the part where he was like, that Ashley wasn't on the list? What?
Well, that's an Ashley, though. Okay.
Everyone here is named Ashley.
I like how he said, well, what's Ashley's last name? Does anybody know Ashley's last name? She's the CEO of the company.
Right. You'd think people would know.
And I love that it was conspicuously absent from this episode was A-Train. I love it because he's going to play a big role in the season finale.
Oh yeah.
I mean finale in season 5.
Yes. The series finale.
Yes, that's what I meant. But then I kept thinking, what if they bring him back, and then he gets into a meeting with Homelander and he just lasers him to death right away because of the shock factor of it. It would make his disappearance in this episode seem a little less important.
Yeah.
Well, but they do that. They do, I think, a pretty good job of, okay, A-Train's going to be a big part of, the final fight against Homelander and blah, blah, blah. And we may get into a couple, episodes of season 5 and he's helping out. And all of a sudden he comes home or something and Homelander's just standing there and just destroys him. Just to make it a little more difficult to get to the end game for the boys and whatnot, because...
And I could totally see that too.
I won't lie. Let's jump to the end for a quick second. As I was watching it, and I'm like, okay, there's not much time left or whatever, so she's going to join the boys, and it's going to be, all hands... nope, okay, she is not going to be joining the boys. Butcher, holy cow.
Yeah.
May she rest in pieces.
Yeah, that was kind of a shock, too. I didn't expect that at all.
I did not expect that. Exactly what Keith said a minute ago. Thrown out twists that we truly did not expect.
I didn't. What ended up happening with their daughter? I know he knocked her out.
Oh, they took her to the what do you call it house?
The safe house that Ryan was in.
What?
Didn't they?
Oh, okay.
Didn't they take her to
No, they took her to the place where she grew up.
Oh.
Where Valerie grew up, because she even said when she was talking to Huey over the phone, she's like, "That's the last place I want her to end up. Please, you've got to help me."
Oh, that's right, to the orphanage or whatever.
Yep.
That's right. Yep, you're right.
The soup orphanage.
But what I was talking about, if we're jumping to the end, should I keep waiting?
Well, if we're at the end anyway, you may as well, I guess. We'll rewind in a minute.
Kamiko, she can speak now.
And
That's
once
gonna be
again, they did not just throw that out there. Her
It felt
talking
earned.
with Frenchie too earlier, when it's like we need to be able to forgive ourselves, and they're both in that same boat of feeling guilty over the things they did, and they both, came to this sort of epiphany together that what, we need to forgive ourselves, and we're good. I think all of us, to use a youthful vernacular term, I think we all shipped Kamiko and Frenchie. So seeing them kind of get together, I was like, oh, that's great. This is good. And once again, oh, thank you for the fake sort of nice little happy ending a little bit, only to pull the rug out from all of us about everything.
Yeah.
The minute I saw them telling one another that they loved each other, and when they shared that kiss, I'm like, one of them's dying. Whenever that you have like a moment of happiness and closure, I do not trust that in the boys ever.
Right.
It's not allowed in this series.
But for me, I trusted it to last the rest of this season. and they got me again. I was like, okay, this is near the end. They're gonna go out, happy note. It's all gonna come to crap at the beginning of season 5. Well, thank you, boys. You didn't wait.
And you know what? It was cool, the Starlight thing at the end. How they had her struggling with her powers all season, and then when she needs to, because the one I brought up last week, I forget her name, the one who crushes the metal.
Yeah.
And like, I can't believe I brought her up, and then she was on the show.
And she showed up, yeah.
But right when she was about to crush Starlight, Starlight's able to fly out of there because she's been working on that the entire season. That's cool when that's good writing, and it doesn't take much. It's just a little bit every scene.
And I have to say,
not only was she able to get her powers back, but then finally be able to control flight. Perfect.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're absolutely right, Dave. Absolutely right. The fact that every one of the moments like that, moments like with Kimiko, it felt earned because it's been touched on throughout either the entire series so far or especially through this season. It was the same thing like what I was talking about with MM, how like he's been struggling to try and keep his blood pressure under control, keep his anxiety under control and everything. And it's been something where he's struggled with it in each one of the episodes. It wasn't like just a one and done, let's forget it ever happened. Same thing with Kimiko. It's really been an issue where she finally broke down and explained to Frenchie exactly what's going on, why she can't speak. And it was nice to finally have that moment of like, coming clean about it. And then it sucks that what drove her to finally regain her voice was a moment where she had to watch Frenchie getting mind controlled and carted off. But it was nice to see her regain her voice.
Yeah, and how about that Gen V girl mind controlling Frenchie? I was like, oh, they picked the right one to mind control too. He knows all the things about killing soups, and he is definitely going to spill all the secrets about the boys. But they don't really need many secrets on the boys since they, jumping back to Starlight too. It was nice to see her make the right choice when Huey's like, just go, and she left. I thought she might go, oh, I got to protect Huey and get caught too. So she made the right decision taking off. Huey, whether he makes it or not, I don't know. But they need her free of, Homelander's new soup Nazis. Super Nazis.
Soup Nazis. Reference.
The superhero SS, whatever we want to call them. But I thought that was...
for you!
Now, I don't know how much that had to do with. I so enjoyed the scene when. How many times did you two, do it or whatever? It was less than 20. And she's just like, no, we're done talking. And then a little while later, you're getting tested for every disease possible. Right. And he was just like smiling, like, okay, she's still. He was a little worried that was the end of the relationship. And, that brought it back. Like, okay, she's still.
I think at the end of the day she would have felt kind of crappy knowing that like there was no way in the moment that he could have known that was a shapeshifter. It wasn't until there were little social cues that she was giving away that he was like, wait a minute, I don't think this is actually Starlight. But yeah, no, he was essentially he was assaulted too, right?
Yeah.
She's just jealous that she didn't get to have in on all the fun.
The proposal thing?
Yeah, all the fun that they were having. She wasn't in on it. So she's just upset.
My first thought, and I hate admitting that this was my first thought when when this whole thing was going down, when it came out that that he had to explain to Starlight that I did sleep with her, of course. My first thought was Wonder Woman 84. Oh boy, that guy is in for a surprise. I'm sorry, I have what? Yeah, it's this really old ancient STD that God, we didn't even know it was still around. I mean, it's ancient Greeks had it. Huh?
How did this happen?
How did this even happen?
I liked that they threw in that like rom-com moment when he was like, I knew it wasn't you when you found your keys right away, and you always struggle for it, and this and that. She's just like, shut up.
Right.
Yeah.
He was really hoping this is gonna bring her in. This is gonna bring. She was just like, ew.
It was
But
like,
you know
whatever.
what? Good on Huey.
Yeah,
Good
that's
on
right.
him
Dave.
for knowing her well enough to pick up on those little cues.
Yeah, that is what saved him in the end. With her.
Mhm.
I did like when he's talking to Mother's Milk too. Start looking forward. What are you talking about? Look forward. Just stop. And he just keeps looking at him like, Huey, what are you doing? Just look forward. And we did get I forget the actress's name that plays Starlight. She did a really good job playing Starlight
Erin Moriarty.
Erin Moriarty.
and playing the shapeshifter her. Because I was reading something. They wanted the shapeshifter to kind of be like pretty dull and sort of
Oh, I'm
lackluster.
glad they did.
And she was like, I want to be like this. And she really came through with that character. That really made the shapeshifter.
When she got into her, I guess, own face and said sociopath, I'm like, oh shit, okay.
They really did a great
You got
job.
this down.
It's amazing handling one person that's split into two so well. You know, it really takes.
I mean,
Gee, what could you be referencing there, Keith?
they did that in this other series that we watched recently. I don't know.
You talking about a split with Arnold Schwarzenegger or
twins? With that
twins?
individual?
Yeah, you talking about twins?
Oh, I thought you were talking about
No.
Kite Man.
Okay.
Kite Man. One moment, please, gentlemen.
But yeah, no, you are absolutely correct. They handled that magnificently, but you know, I wonder if it is a mix between the direction, the actual director, and the acting skills, because we know Erin Moriarty can act.
Yes.
Like we've seen her display a whole range of emotions in this show alone. Plus, she's been in other things, so like we know that she has the acting chops to do so. But you know, I don't want to discount the production, the editing. You know, obviously, you know they're doing this with either a stand-in or maybe a green screen. I'm not entirely sure like what the process was, but everybody that was involved, phenomenal job, excellent, proof that it can be done and well.
They probably
But
had
you-
somebody like Sean Gunn. You know, when Sean Gunn acts like
Yeah. Yeah, are you talking about Guardians?
In Rock. When he's doing Rocket.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
probably had something like that. I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Wait, did you say Rocket?
He was
Rocket.
he did the standing, like he was Rocket on set.
Oh,
Yeah, he was wearing the
And then-
green suit.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper did the voice, but Sean Gunn like stood in for him.
oh,
And
Okay.
then, you know, actually two of the disappointments for
okay.
the show. I only have two kind of minor criticisms.
Mhm.
One, that Starlight was able to find exactly where they were to fight herself and save the day. I was kind of like, you know, I don't know. I just didn't buy that she would all of a sudden know where to show up right in time.
My
there
assumption was this
clues
had been
dropped?
in the plan.
Maybe. That's a possibility. I could definitely, you know, give it that.
But I
just
could
kinda-
also be, you know, I might be, you know, like with blinders on because I love the boys. I'm just, I'm sticking up for it, man.
No, it wasn't enough to make me think this episode was bad or anything. When she showed up, I was just kind of like, how'd she know? But then I was like, ooh, wow, okay, this is sweet. They're fighting and they did a good job. And the other one was when Sister Sage came back. And she's like, oh, this is all part of my plan. And I was like, they didn't like wrap it up well for me. Like her like saying, this is how I did it and this and that. It was just like, I blamed it on Singer now. Here's so-and-so, the new president. He wants to talk to you. And
Yeah.
got it. But then I did love when he was like, thank you or whatever. And she's like, I just wanted to see if I could do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm ready to do it again. He's like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't she say ready for phase 2?
Yeah.
Yes,
Is that what-
yeah.
That was said? Yeah, she's going to be a big part of next season.
Ugh.
And
So yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one because it it felt weird the way that they, how Homelander fired her and everything, and she took off acting like, and I assume it had to have been an act because like she must have calculated that this is a potential probability, this could potentially happen, but the way that she was storming off, it felt legit, like she didn't see it coming.
yeah,
So I don't know. I really don't know how to take it. I figured that she was probably going to come back, but you know, she seemed on edge when she was there in front of Homelander. Like, well, we did it. It was successful. I feel like they really should have played it up where she should have had more snark, a little bit more. Well, what do you say? I'm good, aren't I? Like something to kind of like imply that, you know, she's been 18 moves ahead of him the entire time.
but the thing I did like about her old plan, because in the comics, Homelander kills the president.
Hmm.
So once that shapeshifter failed, I thought for sure we were going to see Homelander just kind of lose his mind and go kill Singer. And the fact
Hmm.
that Sister Sage was like, I placed Newman's death on the Singer. He's been ousted. This guy's now the president. He wants to talk to you. I was like, that was another good twist where I was like, okay, as soon as that shapeshifter failed, I'm like, Homelander's going to go kill Singer. And he didn't. And this show does that all the time for me. They start writing a certain way, and you're like, okay, they're doing this, they're doing this. Oh, no, they're not. Holy cow. And that was
Talk
just another.
about. No, go ahead. Finish.
I was just going to say, that's another example in this episode where I got lulled into kind of a sleepiness with thinking I know what was going to happen and then being completely shocked by what actually they did. And I love that about this show.
I mean, talk about failing upward. That's what Homelander keeps doing. He became the CEO of the company when Stan Edgar left, and now he's going to be like basically the president, because he failed upward that way too. And he's not going to know what to do. He isn't, and he's going to realize there's more to it than what he thinks.
Oh, definitely. Because every single time, he moves on to the whatever the next step is, it's always more than what he's capable. I think the biggest giveaway was when they were at Tech Knight's house, and he was going to speak in front of all of the, the Republicans, the right wingers, and everything, and uh, he was like using the same talking points like what you might hear on, Fox News or on Vought News or whatever, and he was using those kind of talking points, and they were just like, no, 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 that's for the voters. We don't care about any of that nonsense. What are you going to really do for us? And he was kind of like, oh, he truly didn't know. He thought that that's what he thought it was the same thing. It was like he didn't realize that, oh, no, 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 no. That's all like fake semantic kind of BS. It's the BS that they get to win the voters over.
Yeah, that's your spin that you
Yeah.
convince the
It's like it convinced
unwashed.
him. It worked on him,
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, and Dave's right, kind of failing upwards.
Oh,
Stan
yeah.
Edgar, when he left, kind of foreshadowed you're going to lose control and you're not going to know what to do. And,
Yep.
all that stuff. And we saw it at the end of, this season. He lost complete control of Vought. Everything was going crazy. Nothing was right. It wasn't how you run a company. Stan Edgar would have never let it get to that point. And of course, what happens when he's at his lowest? Sister Sage kind of comes in and says, "Yep, we're good. Don't worry about it." And yeah, basically, the president is going to listen to whatever you say. So he's, of course, not going to be able to figure out, I shouldn't do this. I should let smarter people run it. His ego is so huge that he's like, I know what to do, and that's going to be his downfall in season 5,
Yeah,
obviously.
before in the real world.
Yeah.
He only outed Newman because he was again in a moment where he didn't know what to do. It was like, he was sitting there. I think was that the moment where like it was, he just had tinnitus in his ears or whatever, like he couldn't hear anything. I thought so. Like, nothing's getting in. And I think it was another moment of him just kind of like snapping, losing control of the situation. And so he just did what Homelander does.
Yep. He wanted
And
to.
I really didn't think that Newman was going to go out that way because I really didn't think, after they shot her and then point blank and it bounced off. I really didn't think they could penetrate, like even pull her skin apart like that. I thought it would have to be something ingested or something that got down into one of the 7 holes, as they tell us in it, and that we have. I have 7 holes. Yeah, so I thought that was going to be the way. I didn't think he would be able to do that, but does that make him more powerful? With what are we going to call that?
He's a Venom.
Huh?
He's a Venom. Yeah, I think Keith was right. When those tentacles popped out of him, I was like, okay, all right, I can kind of see it now. And it reminded me of the, what was that? Was that a rabbit that they were passing by on the way to the experiment barn? What was it that was on the side of
it was
the
a
road
rabbit.
they were walking with? I thought so. And it had little tentacles crawling out of its stomach.
You know what that scene
Foreshadowing.
You know what that scene reminded me of when he tore Newman in half. In the comics, Noel, the symbiote god, tears Sentry in half. And this, it was funny because when I saw that scene, I paused it. I was like, "Oh my god, she just got Sentried." Because for those of you who are familiar with the Sentry from the comics, he had like the power of 1,000 suns. They always said, and he was like one of the most powerful people. So to see Noel rip him in half was pretty shocking in the King in Black series, and to see Newman, like Dave said, I did not think she could be, destroyed that way. And when he just grabbed her like that and ripped her in half, I was like, holy cow. And that just shows Butcher, for whatever reason, maybe it's the Temp V and the V working together that's making him maybe a little more powerful than the average suit. He is certainly powerful. He may not need that, the virus that he grabbed and took off with.
Well, okay, let's take that one step further. So not only does that prove that he's powerful, but if he killed what's his name in the same way, the Jesus freak dude,
Ezekiel,
Ezekiel, yeah. If he killed Ezekiel in the same way, that dude already had stretchy powers.
Yeah.
So what did he do to make him like? Did
that's why he blacked out
until he was like at his limit. Like what happened there?
That's why he blacked out, because they were like, we can't do that with this guy.
We don't have the budget to do this. Right. So we'll just have him black out. But it'll be interesting to see how next season goes, because obviously Frenchie is under control of Gen V Girl. Kamiko is kind of captured, I think.
They captured all of them except for Starlight.
Okay, right. I was like, yeah. And then Butcher is obviously free. He was just driving in that car.
Yeah.
So I think.
Now, where is he heading?
Good question. I was thinking about that
Ryan, probably.
For about 2 hours one night when I couldn't sleep. I was like staying up, like, okay, where are they going to have him go? Like, where is he heading with that right now? Because obviously we saw his little buddy, in the back seat. Is it powerful enough now that he thinks he could inject Homelander? Because I definitely don't think he's heading right now. So where would he go? Have we met anyone in the series who he could maybe, because Mallory's dead. Obviously all of his buddies and the boys are captured, except for Starlight, but he probably doesn't know that. I don't even think he cares, because he was just taken off by himself. He did not care what the rest were doing. And
we don't even know how much under control of himself he is.
True, 100%.
True that.
And I want to watch the whole series again just to see if they've ever brought anybody up who might have been an ally of Butcher at one point, who he thinks could help him get this virus to where it needs to be. He may even show up at, Newman's baby daddy, who was working on it before. Because he may be the only one who can get that virus where it needs to be. And of course, not surprising, Butcher would be sacrificing himself if this was airborne and, killed all Supes, but he's fine with it. It's almost...
I think he'd be fine with that.
Oh, he definitely would. He knows he's going to die.
One less Supe.
Accepted. Yep. And it's funny because I was thinking about, in the MCU, how they made Zemo anti-super soldier serum, anti-powers and everything, and how Butcher, is that way, and how he ended up getting powers to try to stop him. And I hope they don't go with Zemo that way in the MCU. As much as I love Zemo, character in the comics in the way he is, and with the Masters of Evil and everything, and he was the one who gave Wonder Man his powers to fight the Avengers. Don't go down that road now, because you made Zemo in the MCU and very
stand for something.
Yes, and interesting. And if you break that, it's going to ruin all that he stood for. But it doesn't ruin Butcher, because Butcher is using it as an ends to a means. He's like, I got to do it because otherwise I can't stop these people.
And they didn't do it right away. That was the other thing they did different from the comics. Is in the comics, everyone and the boys like pretty much take the V right away, and they do it on purpose. Because like, look, if you're going to be a part of the boys, you have to do this. It's the only way to fight the Supes, and that's how it is from the beginning. But I'm glad they waited until like late into the series to be like, oh yeah, this temp V stuff exists. Maybe we can use this to temporarily give us powers. They realized, oh, this stuff will kill you. And like pretty much everyone but Butcher got off of it.
Yeah. Because once again, that's Butcher. Butcher is one-track mind. He only cares about stopping Homelander, stopping the Supes, because he understands. But then, his one thing too. All of a sudden, Becca's kid is a Supe and Homelander's kid, and he does care about Ryan. And
I hope.
Well, that's the
and
thing.
I hope the other part of him hasn't corrupted him so thoroughly that he's going to forget that.
And that may be where Ryan is the one who saves him in season 5, basically, right before he dies. It's kind of like a Luke and a Vader moment where, Butcher's just going crazy, and maybe he sees the evil in Butcher, sees where Butcher went with all of it, and he's like, I'm already going down that path. I need to be better, and I need to correct my thing. He'll save Butcher, and then that's how we don't get Homelander Jr., post this series.
So Homelander's going to be sitting on a throne and say, good, I can see your hatred. Strike me down and take your place by my side as my apprentice.
Oh, Johnny in the chat made a good point. I forgot one person who wasn't captured.
Who?
He said Starlight and A-Train can become allies.
Oh, well, yeah, okay,
I didn't mention it, though.
I didn't bring up A-Train only because, like, because he wasn't in the episode. Yeah, he just took off somewhere. But, yeah, no, that is absolutely true.
It is what true?
It is absolutely true.
Is that A-Train and his family have disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
But he, obviously, with how quick he is, he can really go anywhere. It's just if Starlight will be able to contact him. But it may be something when he sees all things going to crap, he may be able to contact, at least try to contact the boys and maybe be able to contact Starlight in some way.
Now, I wonder if Homelander is essentially just supposed to be like the stand-in for Superman, can he also move at super speeds? Like, could he match A-Train's speed?
I think he can
fly as fast as A-Train.
It's like one of my favorite like DC things is whenever you see Clark and the Flash racing, just try and see who among the two of them is the fastest. I just wonder if Homelander is that all powerful. And Dave, just out of curiosity, just if you could help help my memory, it's not as good as it was, and it's a little older now. Was there maybe an episode of a show where they kind of did that, where they showed Superman and the Flash? Right? Yeah,
they did. That was in Smallville. Yeah.
Was it?
It sure was. Yeah, that was like episode 4, season 5, when the Flash was down there, and they ran.
Yeah, was it pretty good?
It was excellent. You should all watch. They should be.
Did they maybe
show
show like the whole like speedster aspect maybe better than a gigantic blockbuster movie that cost millions and millions to make?
He actually looked like he was going fast.
Oh wow!
He wasn't in slow motion. It was crazy.
Cool. How many babies were in the microwave in that episode?
Zero.
Zero.
Yeah. They made it through a Flash
How did they do
without
it?
microwaving any babies.
They must have just not had the budget to do it. We all know, really, to make that scene, it's got to be babies in a microwave.
It's got to.
That's
has.
The only way that scene works.
I'm never gonna let that go.
As you shouldn't.
Yes. But that's a good point. I wonder if A-Train could keep Homelander busy, kind of like Icarus and Makari in the Eternals.
Good on you for remembering that.
Yay me!
Sure, you could have said any names. I would have been like, yeah.
But I wonder if we could see something along those lines where he can't stop Homelander, but just keep him busy enough while other things are going on. Because Homelander's probably going to be pissed and just want to grab him and break him in half, but he can't catch him. Maybe even soften him up a bit for Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I know this is going back an episode, but the whole web slinger death,
Webweaver,
yeah,
Webweaver death, that was like, by the end of that scene, I wanted Webweaver dead. I was just getting so frustrated with it. Just like,
why? Because he kept admitting to everything, or what?
No, because he kept like freezing and just going, oh, because it hurt for him to do that, let him bleed out the back.
Oh.
And it's just like, oh, and I was like, and he couldn't get through a sentence. I'm like, just shut up. And then he rips him in half.
Are you trying to tell us you're Team Homelander now?
No. No, I'm not affectionate. He is not the hero of the story.
No, he is not.
You think?
He might be. You never know. Maybe he'll have a sudden turn in the last season. It'll be the opposite of Dany from Game of Thrones, where she went from saving everybody to just destroying in King's Landing. He'll go from being the villain the whole time to being the one who saves everybody. That'd be a nice twist.
Yeah. You know how you get that, like once you murder one person, you get the taste for it? Maybe he saved somebody, and then he gets the taste of that.
Like A-Train.
I was going to say, yeah, like A-Train and the kid.
Yeah.
That will not happen. I hope.
The closest thing that I could see to Homelander having anything somewhat close to a redemption would be as he's laying there dying and he's like begging for mercy. Like, please, 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 I'll be good. I'll be good. I'll change my ways. I'll do, like, I could see him, because that's the type of individual he is. He's very egocentric, but he's very selfish, and he would say whatever he needed to say or do whatever he needed to do for himself to save himself, especially if he knew that he was vulnerable. And considering what we saw in our, do we want to call the mid-credit scene, end-credit scene? I don't know what the proper. Considering what we saw, there's a good chance that Soldier Boy will still have a grudge against him, and since he can take away powers.
See, I think Homelander is going to have a very tough moment at the end when he sees that Ryan cares more about Butcher than he does about, Homelander. Like, that's where it's going to hurt him. He's going to see, like, Ryan's going to go to Butcher or something at the end, and he's going to be like, why didn't he come to me? And that's what's going to hurt him more than anything else that happens to, well, besides death. Death probably hurts pretty bad. But I do think we're going to see Ryan sort of choose Butcher, because Butcher has always treated him much better than Homelander does. Homelander has moments where he's kind of nice, but, we've seen so much. Just suck it up. Say the lines. Where Homelander, like we talked about from earlier in the
thing
season.
is, like, Ryan's still a kid, right? So he needs to see it. He needs to actually witness it. And, he did run away from Homelander after he, saw like the lasering the walls and destroying the room over a picture. But I think once he sees, oh, this is only going to keep getting worse, it's only going to keep escalating from here, I think that might be what does drive him to go back to Butcher. Like, okay, you were right. I'm so sorry,
Yeah. And he's going to be down on Butcher for what he did, especially, you say I shouldn't kill, but you're willing to kill all these soups and everything to get your way. It's not right. Homelander's not right, but your way's not right either. It's the whole,
and
much like Killmonger.
Ryan may be the only thing that will serve as a conscience to Butcher to actually get him back in his right mind.
Especially
because I think the next season it might end up ending with Butcher like this close to just genociding all soups, I think it'll be Ryan that's actually able to get him to step off the ledge.
Yep, Negan
But
Ghost is
Ryan
going to
killed
be pushing
Mallory.
him.
Well, he did, but I assume he's probably going to feel guilty about that.
That'll make it okay.
No, it won't make it okay.
Mm-mm.
But people can change. People can see the error of their ways. He did something as a kid,
Yeah.
out of anger, out of thinking he's being manipulated or controlled in a way. Now, it doesn't justify it in any way. But a kid who makes a mistake like that, I can see being rehabilitated much easier than like a Homelander or even a Butcher. Like, Butcher's never going to change his ways.
Just like Kylo Ren.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He goes full evil, and
Wait, when did that happen? What movie was that in?
It's going to happen in 9. It hasn't come out yet.
Oh.
They're going to give him a whole redemption. They're going to be like, we know you blew up several planets. It's okay. You were just a kid and you were being manipulated.
Still sounds a little far-fetched, but we'll see.
In fact, you get to kiss the hero too. That's what happens.
It's in that new Ray movie, right? Oh, sorry, we're tangenting. Sorry.
But yeah, no, I don't know if Ryan is going to live through all of this. I don't know if he's going to make it or if, he's going to end up getting infected by the virus and, with his last breaths, he's going to try and convince Butcher to stop. I really don't know. I don't know if even the boys would be willing to go so far as to kill a kid.
And does the next season of Gen V come out before the boys?
Yes.
Because then, all right, so are they going to have Frenchie on that show?
They might.
I really need to know like what's good. After watching that, the how like everything was playing out, I'm still stunned. I cannot believe that the two of them are going along with Homelander this long. Like friggin' Kate, we had this amazing episode in Gen V where they were like exploring her mind, and I really thought she was going to turn around, and it seemed like in that last episode, her and Sam just like flipped on a dime, and I don't get it, man. Like, I feel like I do need to go back and rewatch Gen V because it seems so strange that they're all in with Homelander.
And it may just be, they're like, they don't know the big picture. They see people can be easily manipulated when you're not at the top. Oh my God, Singer killed Newman, and now we're, because the president is saying we have to enact martial law, and Homelander's, soups are going to be doing all this. They may be like, wow, we got to do this to help. The country's in trouble. That does happen. They might not have the entire picture, so they're following along, and we may see them, hopefully at some point, come to the right side or turn on Homelander's soup army. But you're right. I will be interesting to see now that the virus that was a big part of season 1 of Gen V kind of play out. What's going to be the plot of season 2? Where is it going to go? Is it going to handle this martial law and what's going on in the country between seasons of the boys, or is it going to have its own little bubble that things are happening, and we may not even see the purple girl.
Frenchie.
Yeah, Frenchie and the purple girl and the puppet dude. Can't remember any of their names now.
Puppet dude, you mean Sam?
Yeah, Sam. And it may be just focusing on the ones who were trapped in that room at the end.
Mm.
Or they'll run into them at some point or understand what they're doing and go to maybe try to bring them back to bring them back. It'll be interesting to see. But it started filming. It was delayed because obviously the death of the one actor. But I do believe they've started filming the second season.
Wait, which actor died?
What's his name? Oh, Johnny, hold on. Johnny was asking, how powerful do you think Butcher is? I mean, I think they showed us that he's pretty high level with his power by being able to rip Newman in half, who was shown earlier in the season to kind of be near invulnerable with taking bullet shots to the head and everything else.
I wonder if you could do that to Homelander. if he got close enough.
Yeah, maybe. But I think maybe Homelander's too powerful to be ripped in half like that. They're gonna have to, figure out something.
Yeah, we don't know the extent of that power.
Yep.
He might be able to, but he might not be able to get close enough. I mean, because Homelander's
Polarity's son, the kid who played Polarity's son,
Yeah, yeah,
he's the
yeah.
one.
he would have
Chance
to
for
he would have to get close to Homelander to do that. And Homelander's got his his laser vision, his flight, and all that. So I don't think
A-Train.
Yeah.
A-Train.
He might be the only one to move fast enough to get right up to Homelander. Hopefully before you know. That's why I was asking.
You could carry Butcher then.
Yeah, but I mean
'Cause he
that's why I was
doesn't-
asking initially. Like, can Homelander match A-Train's speed? Like, would he notice A-Train coming up to him at super speed?
And it could be,
I
it's
think-
Starlight, A-Train, and Butcher have to all take on Homelander. Because one-on-one, Homelander's going to defeat any of them, but maybe the three together can at least, save themselves and slow him down and soften him up for whatever is going to be. And it would be funny if they go to attack Homelander and Soldier Boy shows up. And they're like,
Oh,
we're out of here. I'm on-
you go ahead and take care of this.
I'm on my son's side now. Oh, dear God.
I have a prediction for the end of next season.
What's
think-
next with Doug?
I think Huey will live, and I think the last season is going to end without him being covered in blood for once.
He's reeling that in, folks.
I think they're gonna flip it on its head, and because every season he gets covered in some sort of fluids, usually blood.
Oh, that's a good point. Gen V might turn graduating students superheroes who report directly to Homelander.
Oh man, whoa.
So we might see
That's
some.
That
on
would
the
be
nose.
dark.
That is on the nose, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
Well, and then we could see maybe heroes working from the inside of Homelander's team to help the boys.
Mhm.
As they progress through the season of Gen V, they figure out that this is wrong and they have to find a way, and they end up working with the boys in season 5 of The Boys. That's it. I like that theory. I didn't even think of that, but you're right. And with the way, with martial law being enacted, any superhero who's ready to superhero is probably going to be recruited for Homelander's soup army or whatever.
Superhero crew,
And
not the 7.
Not the
They'll
soup
be called-
Nazis.
They'll be called the -7.
-7.
Yeah, because they're not quite the 7.
Okay.
They'll probably promote like a couple people to make it 7 again, and they'll find out. Much like
He's all about marketing and production. So yeah, I can
What do
see
they
him
got
doing
right
something
now?
like
They don't
that.
have
Just
any
pick some
training.
random people that will do what he says.
They have Firecracker, Homelander, Deep.
They got Firecracker for now, but I don't
One.
see her lasting much longer.
So they got 5 out of the 7.
wait, who are the 5? So we got Firecracker, Homelander,
Homelander,
the Deep, Black Noir.
Sage?
and Sage. That's it.
Yeah, yep. So we really only need two soups to
Yeah.
fulfill that 7.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Man, I'm looking forward to second season of Gen V now. I kind of forgot about that.
Oh, I know. Same.
That could really, it felt like a completely separate show watching that first season, but obviously the virus that was a big part of that season
Mhm.
turned to be pretty huge in this season of The Boys. So we may see some awesomeness in season 2. See,
Having a few of the characters from The Boys showing up, like Victoria Newman,
I-
kind of tying it together,
I
and
can't believe-
Homelander.
I
flying
can't
in
believe
again.
we missed this too. Johnny
What?
just said Soldier Boy might be the newest member of the 7.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
They did definitely wake him up. We don't know for sure.
I was going back and forth when they show that scene. Is Homelander gonna just laser him while he's still in the frozen? just get rid of the chance, or is he going to, try and push for this whole family ideal that he seems to think he's got, and really try to fix things with Soldier Boy? Because the way it ended, even though they were telling Soldier Boy, no, 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 back off, we're changing the plan, we're not going to do this, he seemed to really want to kill Homelander.
Yeah.
But he may see it now that they turned on him. And so he might be, right? I want to get revenge on those who set me up
Maybe.
like this.
That could be. Also, he is kind of like an opportunist as well. So if he sees that essentially the entire government is under the control of Homelander, he may be, ready to fall in line.
Yep. Well, any other thoughts, or should we maybe rate this episode? I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Sure. We can go ahead and rate it. Rate the
Yeah,
episode.
I think we pretty much covered everything there was to cover. We
I think
talked
Yeah, that was
about the shape changer and Starlight escaping and everything like that. So yeah, and the fact that Kimiko finally spoke. I think that was my favorite part in the entire thing. Like it was under a horrible situation, but I was glad to hear her, say some words at the end there.
I can't remember which one of you
Slightly
said it,
off
but
topic.
it felt earned.
It did.
Slightly off topic. Right before we went on, I was watching some YouTube shorts, and one of them was this dude standing on the corner in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who drives up? But Karen Fukuhara.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's just talking to her. She just parked up right in front of him on the road, and they're just talking back and forth.
Hmm.
And she's just the nicest person. And she's just like, "Yeah, I'm so glad you watched the show." And then everybody behind her's honking. She didn't care. She's just sitting there, and she's like, "Wait, I gotta give you something." She goes into her center console. She's got this like rubber ducky. She goes, "Here, just from me to you." He's just like
That's
the
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into the ratings, Johnny has a question. Will Stan or Samir get Zoe from Red River?
I could see Stan maybe doing it.
Yeah, that's his granddaughter, right?
Yep.
Essentially, yeah. And he does.
Yeah.
He owes Vic. Yeah, he owes Victoria. So she blew up heads in order to get him and release him. So he may feel like, yeah, okay, I owe her one. I wouldn't want her to be in Red River either.
Yeah, especially, he knows how much that affected her mom when she was there.
Yes.
So
Yes.
definitely think Stan. I don't know if we'll see Samir again. If we do, it might be because Butcher found him to work out the virus. I don't think
Is that where he's heading?
he might be. I can't think of anywhere else off the top of my head where he would be going. And I did think about it for a while, and I was like, I may have to rewatch, all of these to see if there's anyone that they mentioned. Like if we
Well, he's
get
got the
some,
one vial with him.
I want to hang out with Stormfront.
Isn't she is dead though, right?
who?
Well, she was
Stormfront.
She was alive at the beginning of that next season, but I can't remember if Homelander killed her or not.
No, I don't think he killed her. I think she died. I think she just stopped breathing.
Succumbed to her injuries, yeah.
Yeah, because she was pretty fried.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was alive at the beginning, and that's all I remember.
Okay, we have another
Right.
question from, it looks like Mathis Alves. I apologize if I messed up your name. Do you think that in the end, Butcher will be about to kill Ryan or allow his death? Will he again, like in season 3, spare him or something? I think Ryan is going to basically show Butcher kind of the error of his ways. And Butcher is going to, he's going to die, but I don't think Butcher would ever try to kill Ryan at this point. I think he is going to be what brings him out of the sort of control of his symbiote. And it's going to be the thing that really saves him kind of in the end, right before he dies.
As long as not Negan stays in control of his brain, yeah, I could see him doing it. Even if it isn't directly injuring him, if it's giving him the virus that can kill Soups, I could see him under mind control doing that. But yeah, I agree with Keith. I think we're going to end up seeing Ryan being the only one who's actually able to snap Butcher out of it, because I feel like that's his destiny at this point. I think he's going to try to kill all the Soups.
Ryan is the one who inspired Butcher to kill Newman. You know, that was like he had reached the end of his rope. All right, let's just go do this. You know, so maybe, who knows, maybe Butcher doesn't trust Ryan anymore.
I still don't know why he came to that conclusion. I don't understand why him and his, symbiote, for lack of a better word, I don't know why they decided that was the direction to go in. Because I think they would have fared off better if they would have kept Newman alive.
They definitely would have, and I think it was Butcher just thinking, we can't trust her. We can't trust anyone but ourselves, really, at this point. Because obviously the boys were going to side with her, and we know who she is. And that was like almost his snapping point, where he gave in fully to not Negan Ghost. Where he's going to really...
I think he could have killed Starlight in there the same way. But I don't think if he would have tried to kill Kamiko wouldn't have died.
No, I think she would have regrown.
She would have regenerated.
Yeah.
But he could have killed Starlight in there. Instead, he just walked out and said, "Hey, yeah, you guys should thank me."
Well, the way they all got rounded up, I don't know about that.
After Huey gave that speech and they all bought into it, and we're gonna work with Newman and.
Yep.
Nah.
Every time they sell you on something like that, it's like, nope, that's not gonna happen.
All right, season 5, Newman and oh my God.
Okay, nope, not that.
I wonder if she got her copy of the script and she's like, "Wait, what? Are you killing me off?"
No, she did a Keith. She went, "Aw." Maybe she'll be back in a flashback.
Hopefully, because she does a really good job. As all the actors and actresses do it. Let's see, Johnny. I want to see ice and mind control powers in season 5. Well, we did see mind control powers at the end of season 4. So I do think her name's Kate, right?
Yeah.
I think we'll see Kate in season 5 for sure. So we'll definitely see mind control powers. I don't know if we'll see. Yeah, maybe we will, because we'll probably see a bunch of new kind of soups in the soup Nazis. And that's SUPE Nazis, not SOUP. Don't want Seinfeld's lawyers coming after us. But we could see all types of, variant DC and Marvel heroes kind of popping up as part of this task force or, superhero, what would you call them? Like a deputized soups, working directly for the government during martial law.
Yep, they all signed the
super squad.
They signed the Sokovia Accords. That's what happened.
That's true. Just like President Ross wants, Captain America to be a government position again.
I just thought of something. What if, because Homelander is all about the how everything looks on TV and the marketing aspect of it all. What if he decided that this martial law was the perfect opportunity for the Soup Cops knockoff?
That would be fantastic.
Bad Starlighters, what you want, what you gonna do when the soups are coming for you?
And it's like, they walk in, what did you say about supporting Starlight? I didn't say anything. They just blast him and kill him. He was definitely a Starlighter.
And shut off the body cam.
If it was even on.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Once again, we couldn't show all the footage because of what the Deep State Starlighter had said, but let's just say we put that to an end.
And here she is with her theme song, "Blinded by the Light."
Wrapped up like a deuce.
I don't understand that second line. Homelander heads to get some milk endorsements from Johnny says.
No.
When he got sprayed in the face, and he genuinely looked surprised and excited. That's good on Anthony Starr. That's great acting.
It's hilarious how it's so out in the open now that as they're getting ready to sit around the table, they're making sure that he's got a tall glass of milk right there at the table in front of all the other soups as they're getting ready to come up with their kill list.
Yeah.
Well, the other, we got the Ashley plot line after she took to Compound V. What's going to happen with her? But also, Firecracker and whatever sickness she has. I thought her just saying, "Oh, it's the medication I'm taking" or whatever,
Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah.
I don't buy it. So I wonder if something else is going on, and if we're going to.
I thought about that because that was the only time that scene was the only time she looked like that. Because the next time she was in it, she looked fine. Maybe she injected herself with compound V too.
More Compound V?
Yeah, just to be found or something. You know how when A Train was taking more of that, it affected him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Maybe she's taking more so she can get next to Homelander.
that's a good point.
Who's to say?
Don't know.
We will find
I like
out
how he
probably
kept-
next season.
Like he kept shooing
Right.
her away. No, go one more seat down. Keep going.
I knew that was coming too. I was laughing. I'm like, oh, when he's like, okay, move down. No,
Keep
one
going.
more seat. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, no, Doug. But Johnny makes
I don't have-
Firecracker and the Deep might not like Sister Sage being back in the 7, but Black Noir will.
Yes, that's true. He doesn't have to perform a lobotomy
Yeah.
for his parts. So,
Well, and the only thing that comes into play with Firecracker and the Deep, they're such Homelander sycophants that if Homelander says she's back, and all he has to say was all part of the plan. I fake fired her because we needed her doing this, and they'll buy right into it. So their dismay over her coming back will probably be remedied by Homelander just saying she's back, deal with it.
yeah. Like switching actors in a Marvel movie. Just deal with it.
Just like that short we put out.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
And yeah, I think when Doug gets back, we can do our ratings
is.
for this show. Oh, and here he is. What do you know?
I mean, who's going first?
You can go first.
Dave, I
David.
nominate you.
I'll go first. I give the show an 8.5. Moving on. What do you think, Doug? It's like we've always said. Excellent acting, excellent plot. Plot twists that you don't see coming. That I don't even think they aren't things that like couldn't happen, but they also aren't things that they didn't leave a trail to see coming. Like killing Newman. No way I thought that was gonna happen. Stuff like that. That just keeps the boys at the top of the game. Out of all the series that come out, like they never disappoint. I thought at the beginning of this season it was going kind of slow, but they really fixed that problem real quick. So, and as far as the entire season goes, gave this show an 8.5. Give the entire season the same thing, 8.5. I don't know if it's the best season I've seen. I think maybe last season was the best, but this was a pretty damn good season.
See, I'm a lot along the lines with Dave. I thought this season started out slow. I thought the season finale and last season wasn't executed very well, and I was a little worried about the show. But man, it picked up steam with the third episode and did not stop. And like Dave said, the acting was tremendous. If Anthony Starr does not get an Emmy, then it's totally rigged. But even like Aaron Moriarty doing the dual roles as Starlighter and that shapeshifter at that point was just mother's milk. The guy who does A Train, Butcher, God, can't say enough about him. He's so good in this show. It's amazing. Even Ryan, the kid. There's a lot of times we've talked about when kids are in shows, it's noticeable that they're not on the same level with acting. But Ryan, the kid who plays Ryan, is great and does a really good job handling all these things and handling the complex emotions of a teenager. And like I said, the only little nitpicks, the tiny little nitpicks I had was Starlight knowing exactly where to show up just in time to fight her, the shapeshifter with her thing. And then Sister Sage is coming back to say this was all part of the plan, but didn't really explain it too well. Just like, hey, the new president's on the line, and I blame Singer for it. Which, while her saying, I just wanted to see if I could do it. Hey, what are we going to do next? I want to do it again. Ready for phase 2 was good. I just, the whole explanation for it just wasn't great to me, but didn't affect the show in the least. And I'm going to give this show an 8.7257. Really great. I mean, I loved it. I was disappointed when it was over. They even, blowing me away with killing Newman when I didn't think that was going to happen. The mid-post credit scene, whatever we're going to call it, with them kind of getting rounded up. Dave calling last week that the metal bending chick from the from the one hospital. We saw the love sausage again. They bring these people back, and they just gross. Constantly surprising me. Their writing lulls me into a certain, trance, thinking I know what's going to happen, and then they shock me. And like Dave said, it's not like they're just what a twist you never saw coming. It's all there for you to see, and it's all how it's written. You're like look back on it and say, yep, it's great. Now for the season, I think I'm going to give it about a 8.2. While I think once it picked up steam, it was great. Those first couple episodes were really dragging for me. And you guys know I don't mind slow episodes. I just was starting to feel like we've seen this all before, and where are they going with this? Are we just going to get another rehash of a season? And I was certainly wrong about that.
I agree with you two gentlemen. I really, really, really dug this season finale. This episode was fantastic. And it is exactly what I needed, especially, considering some of the other stuff we've been watching. I needed a good season. I'm very sad that it's done already, though. Like, gosh, it does not feel like we got enough episodes of The Boys. And so I'm a little sad that it's already over. I need more, and I'm hearing that we may not get the next season until, 2026 now?
Yeah, Carl Urban confirmed it's not coming till 2026.
I mean, at least we're going to get a Gen V season in between, but still, like, I need to know where this is going, because how do you end on a cliffhanger like that? This is nothing like season 3 when it seemed like they were wrapping everything up in a nice, neat little bow, and we're just like, really? Seems like everything just worked out. And it was like, are they not renewing it? What's going on? And then for this one to just suddenly be like, oh yeah, no, everything is the worst. Everything is terrible. And it's like, oh, okay. I mean, the fact that I will say, like, my two favorite moments were when Starlight was finally able to get her powers working again just before they get attacked. And the fact that she was able to, get her flight finally working, which she's been working on throughout this entire season. It felt earned, and I love that. I love when shows do that. We praised the Bad Batch for doing that, and so I love the fact that they did it in this show as well. The fact that they can have something carry over from episode to episode where it feels like they're not just dropping it on you, like what you said, Keith. They're not just pulling a what a twist. It feels like this has been planned, like it's been set up. I will say the only deviation from that is probably in a very similar vein as what you said, where I didn't totally buy the whole Sister Sage thing. I don't know if we had like two different directors, two different writers, like one, with ideas of the direction they wanted to take it, and they just had to kind of like go with it. I don't know what the deal was, but I'll go back and rewatch. But I did not see any indication from Sage that she was fine with all of this, that this was cool or this was part of the plan. The way that she was storming out of Vought Tower, I was under the assumption that, like, oh, she truly did not see this coming. And I kind of made a bit of a complaint about that when we were reviewing that episode, that it felt so off. It didn't feel like Sage. It didn't feel like something she would have done, that she would have been, taken aback by this.
Right.
And then for her to just kind of like waltz in, like, oh yeah, it's like, really though, was it part of your plan, or like, I get that they were always going to have her come back. Part of me admitted that, like, oh yeah, of course she's gonna come back. She's too smart to not. But it did feel, I don't know, like they didn't. There wasn't any sort of real setup that that was really going to happen. I don't know. That's just how I
It
felt.
felt to me like there's more to that scene that maybe got cut at the
Hmm.
editing room floor. And
Yeah,
she had a better explanation of all the things that had happened
like
behind.
as she's walking out of Vought Tower, she could have just had like a little grin on her face, or just something that would have telegraphed that, oh no, this isn't the end of Sage, or this is exactly what she wanted all along, you know? And then,
Well, she
the
did have a
episode
rough
ends.
day. She did have a rough day, and she did want to spend it with Deep. So remember that.
But yeah, and I get the irony that I would complain about something like that when I literally was just saying in our last live stream how I disliked the fact that the acolyte was constantly like rubbing our faces in everything, like, oh my gosh, you'll never guess who Smilo Ren is. And it's like, yeah, we knew, we all knew. But the boys is so good at telling its story. I wouldn't have minded just a little bit of telegraphing, just a little bit of something to say, yeah, we're keeping this character within her character. You're like,
Yeah.
but that was like my only nitpick. So I'm gonna rate this episode a 9 out of 10. I
Nice.
thought it was fantastic. It was exactly what I would expect out of an episode, especially a season finale of The Boys. It was just good. It was really, really good. And for this season as a whole, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
I wasn't I didn't mind the first initial episodes as much. Like I said, there's been a couple little nitpicks throughout, but um yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was a great season. And it was needed. It
Oh yeah.
was really needed.
You know, this was definitely, well, I don't know. This and House of the Dragon have been the best shows, we've been watching
Hmm.
lately. And
Hmm.
Johnny gave it a 9 out of 10 also, which excellent.
Nice.
Do you think A Train should have appeared in this episode? No, I think it's fine that he didn't, because he did say
Yeah.
he was going off with his family and stuff. And I do think he's going to see, once martial law is enacted and all the things that are going on, that's what's going to bring him back, because
I think so too.
he knows he's needed. He'll be like, you know what? Much like he told, you can't hide
Yeah,
from this.
'cause
It'll
he
come
gave the
for you
same
wherever you're at.
speech.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll find Annie, and then he'll just say, hey, what's up, shitbird?
But yeah, no, I think you're right, because I truly do think that he is finally accepted the fact that, you know what, it feels good to be a hero. With sometimes when uh power comes upon you, you realize that there's a certain level of responsibility that needs to occur with said power.
Whenever you have
Isn't that
great power, there will
the
be
super spider?
responsibility with that follows.
Yes.
Isn't that the super spider or spider pig or something? That's their saying, right?
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Spider Ham, not Spider Pig. Come on,
Not
Dave.
spider. Well, they can do anything a regular pig can do. It's just also a spider. Okay. So there you have it, folks. There's all of our ratings, and we got a rating from the chat even. We got some more of your ratings. Find out where all you guys stand. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
And on our post this video, leave in the comments.
If you're still in the chat, let us know what you think. But we are going to probably raid somebody now. It is, almost 10 o'clock. We do have an episode of House of the Dragon to watch tonight, which
Hmm.
those of you not watching it, you should definitely watch it. We can finally
Check it
convince
out.
Dave to check it out, and I think he's now fully on board.
I'm on board.
I am so happy, Dave, that you get to enjoy Sunday night hot D with us.
But what are we going to do in 3 weeks? They got 2 more weeks, right?
Mhm.
Tonight and then two more. So in 3 weeks, we won't have any shows we're watching.
We've got a lot of stuff that we could do.
We got We got 10 episodes of Batman Cape Crusader that is all dropping on August 1st.
On Amazon.
Yep. We got the Suicide Squad, a Zeke thing to talk about. Isekai, thank you.
Isekai.
We got the Death Note. Get back to our, anime for newbies. We got
Kite Man.
Kite Man, yep.
Well, I don't know how much we'll be reviewing of that. That's just going to be a funny show, I think. It's just going to be.
I think it's one of those where we can watch all the episodes and just do like a series kind of like, or a season review kind of thing.
I haven't started it yet. Did you guys start it yet?
I watched the first episode. It was fine.
Are they doing it weekly, do you know, or are they dropping it all at once?
I think they dropped the first two episodes, and then I think it's going to be weekly.
Yeah, it's going to be weekly.
You guys see anybody? We got Bubble, Magic the Gathering, Nerd Girl.
Iron Mouse.
Who's Iron Mouse?
I don't know. It's just some of these recommended channels I'm looking through
nice.
Just for you. Somebody's playing Elden Ring.
You always gotta love Elden Ring.
We got
I know you
Meat
love Elden.
Canyon.
Meat Canyon?
Meat. He's an animator on YouTube.
Okay.
Which, by the way, in case those of you who are on YouTube, in case you're wondering, what we're doing is we are looking for folks for a channel on Twitch because we're streaming live to both Twitch and YouTube. We're looking for somebody's channel to raid. So if you ever want to take part in that with us, feel free to hop on Twitch as well. Or stay on YouTube. Either or, we are happy to have you no matter which platform you're watching us on.
That's right. But basically, it sends everyone who's on our channel watching our stream to another stream that we like. So it's a way to kind of, let people know, hey, here's someone we like. Hopefully you guys like them too. And it's a way to find other content creators that, do a good job.
Yeah.
We got MTG Nerd Girl.
Mm-hmm.
I know we were going to raid last time, but there was a problem. I think they don't allow raids or something.
Yeah.
Should we do Bubble since they're playing Elden Ring? Since that is...
Yeah, let's do Bubble.
Fantastic.
Bubble.
So we're going to raid here in a minute. We are going to not be streaming this Thursday because we will be at the theater for our spoiler-free review of Deadpool and Wolverine. But thanks, everybody, for coming out. Thanks for being active in the chat. We always enjoy that. And we will be back next Sunday. Probably talking a little Deadpool and Wolverine. Talking House of the Dragon, Episode 5. Getting ready for Episode 6. It's going to be a good time. But once again, we'll see you guys then.
Hey, fellow nerds. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.